Protests are happening as we speak across the country as part of a global day of action against Elon Musk and his Tesla empire.
I did notice one slight issue. No way.
I love Tesla.
The story of Tesla has always been one about belief. Belief in Elon Musk, in technological breakthroughs, and in a future where Tesla isn't just a car company, but a tech giant reshaping entire industries. However, today, that belief is facing its greatest test yet.
After dozens of violent incidents like this against Teslas across the country, tonight the FBI announcing it's launching a new task force comprised of counter-terrorism agents to investigate who's targeting dealerships, cars, and charging stations.
Declining sales, intensifying competition, and Musk's increasingly polarizing presence in the US government.
The basic message is that democracy is for the people, not for billionaires. To have a billionaire essentially buy an election and is now interfering with the functioning of our government is terrifying.
All of this is threatening to unravel the narrative that once made Tesla seem untouchable. So in this video, we're going to break down why Tesla is declining right before our eyes, and whether there's any real path forward, or if the company's best days are already behind it. Tesla sales are currently cratering. Signs of weak demand have sparked nervousness among investors this year. Sales in Europe have plunged by 42% over the first 2 months of 2025, and sales in China fell nearly 50% in February, while Chinese EV rival BYD saw their sales soar. Many analysts are slashing their vehicle delivery forecast for 2025, which in turn is hurting their stock price, and I'll get to that in a moment. But even in Europe, once a stronghold, Tesla is losing ground to automakers that have finally caught up. The European Automobile Manufacturers Association revealed on Tuesday that Tesla saw a 40% year-over-year drop in new vehicle registrations for the month of February, while overall electric vehicle sales were up 26%. Now, despite Tesla's record sales in China last year, it's not looking so good for 2025. They are facing relentless competition from BYD and many other brands, which are churning out cheaper and more feature-packed electric vehicles. While these vehicles are unlikely to come to the US anytime in the near future, they threaten Tesla's global market in other countries beyond just China. Now, in almost every way, this isn't just a demand issue, it's an identity crisis. Tesla was once the only game in town for EVs. Now, it's not just another player in an increasingly crowded field, it's become the controversial player, who many seem to want to distance themselves from. But Tesla's challenges aren't just external, and they aren't solely about Musk. The company itself has struggled with quality control issues, production delays, and an aging lineup. The Model S and X, once the gold standard of EV luxury, have seen little in the way of major updates, but apparently have something planned for later this year. The Model 3 and Model Y, still Tesla's bread and butter, are now facing stronger competition from traditional automakers who have finally caught up, whether that's with EVs or hybrids. And the Cybertruck, once hyped as a revolutionary game changer, has experienced many issues like delays, price hikes, and underwhelming reviews. And now Tesla has issued a recall on nearly all Cybertrucks for a trim panel issue in which they used the wrong glue for the paneling. All of this has led to softer demand than what was initially expected for the truck, and it simply hasn't been the mass market disruptor it was sold as. Now that's a problem for a company that needs to continue evolving so it can justify its sky-high stock valuation. Production issues have also plagued Tesla's expansion efforts. The company has long touted its ability to scale manufacturing like no other automaker, leveraging its gigafactories to drive down costs. But recently, it struggled with supply chain disruptions, workforce reductions, and increasing material costs. The reliance on Chinese suppliers for essential components like batteries has made Tesla vulnerable to geopolitical tensions and tariffs. While its US manufacturing shields it from direct import tariffs, Tesla still faces higher costs due to tariffs on critical materials and retaliatory tariffs from other countries, which could impact its sales abroad. With global trade tensions escalating, Tesla's ability to maintain competitive pricing is under increasing pressure. Now, Tesla did send a letter to the White House before Trump enacted his 25% auto tariff, raising concerns about their company and warning that they could be exposed to retaliatory tariffs. Even Musk himself has said that Tesla will not be immune to tariffs. However, that letter that was sent was never actually signed by any Tesla employee. And then, of course, there's Elon Musk. Once seen as a visionary to many, has seemingly become a liability. His erratic behavior, political rants, and recent alignment with far-right figures have alienated customers and investors alike.
I think Tesla's become a political symbol, and that's a bad thing for any brand.
The once loyal base of Tesla buyers, often progressives and environmentally conscious, seems to be shrinking. His recent involvement in the Trump administration has pushed things even further, sparking protests and a wave of backlash against him and the company. Heading up the newly developed Department of Government Efficiency, some prospective EV buyers and even some former Tesla owners have been turned off as of late, as Musk tries to lead an effort to slash federal government spending, cut the federal workforce, and has said he wants to privatize many services, including Social Security. Now, when the richest man in the world is meddling in the US government by firing federal employees and calling Social Security a Ponzi scheme, it's not shocking that many Americans don't want to support his company. Musk's influence in government isn't just about business, though. It's been in our faces in a way which we've never really seen before. I mean, CEOs have always had back-channel access to politicians, but Musk is broadcasting it, doing interviews from the Oval Office, sitting in on cabinet meetings. I mean, his visibility was once a strength, reinforcing the image of a tech mogul shaping the future, but now it has certainly become a liability. Influence like this tends to work best when it's kept quiet, but Musk has made it impossible to ignore. And now Tesla seems to be paying the price. Now, on the other hand, Musk has gained new fans on the other side of the aisle, but I think the main question is how many of them will actually convert to Tesla customers? This we won't know for some time. Now, stock price has long been Tesla's shield. No matter the missteps, Tesla's valuation has remained high on the belief that its future tech, autonomous driving, humanoid robots, robo-taxis, all of it, would eventually justify its sky-high price-to-earnings ratio. But cracks seem to be forming, and investors are starting to ask hard questions about Tesla's future. The stock has recently become extremely volatile, reaching a high of $480 in December, but has now seen that price cut in half in just a few months. Now, to be fair, the stock is still up 50% over the past year, but has bounced around quite a lot since its previous all-time high back in 2021. These days, it appears the price is even more tied to Musk's every move. Historically, his grand promises drove the share price to surge, but now more people are questioning whether those promises are just vaporware. Over the last 2 months, board members have quietly offloaded $100 million worth of shares, even as Musk held an all-hands-on-deck meeting with Tesla employees and urged them to hold on to their shares. Tesla's full self-driving technology was supposed to be the holy grail, but it remains far from the fully autonomous future Musk has promised for years. Musk told investors in January that Tesla would roll out autonomous ride-hailing for money by June in Austin, Texas, but according to CNBC, the company has yet to begin production of its Cybercab. Now, Waymo, which is owned by Google, is already operating a commercial robotaxi service in several cities across the US, including Austin. And in China, several automakers now include an equivalent to Tesla's full self-driving supervised, a premium partially automated driving system as a standard feature, unlike Tesla, which charges extra for it. So if Tesla loses its ability to sell the dream of robotaxis and self-driving cars, its justification for a tech stock valuation could begin to decline even further. It then becomes just another automaker, one with growing competition and an increasingly contentious brand image. But there's also the regulatory squeeze. The new administration is likely planning to end the $7,500 EV tax credit, which could further constrict demand for some EVs. Add to that new tariffs, and these headwinds make it harder for Tesla to compete on price at a time when affordability is already a major problem. See, Tesla was already forced into aggressive price cuts throughout 2023 and 2024 to maintain demand, but that strategy is unsustainable. Slashing prices eats into margins and erodes the premium brand image Tesla once enjoyed. So if Tesla can't maintain both affordability and profitability, what's left? For years, the company operated with the assumption that the tech breakthroughs Musk promised would materialize. Now, with a lot of the tech lagging, faith is starting to wane. Tesla's valuation assumes it's not just another car company, but as its technological edge fades, it's starting to just look like one. Now, the biggest question Tesla faces isn't just whether it can survive these challenges, it's whether it can do so without Musk. The company has little in the way of a clear succession plan, and Musk's grip on Tesla remains strong. But if his presence continues to be a bigger liability, will shareholders demand a leadership change? I mean, will the board step in to try to protect the company's future? Today, these things seem unlikely, but brands begin to collapse well before they die. And right now, Tesla isn't dead. It still has a first mover advantage, a strong charging network, and some brand recognition. But the aura of invincibility appears to be gone. And in my opinion, the collapse has certainly begun. Does that mean the stock price is going to zero in the next week? Well, definitely not. But investors who once believed in endless growth are starting to see the flaws in this hype. Musk's personal controversies, failed promises, and a rapidly shifting EV market have put the company in a difficult spot. At some point, the story stops being about potential and starts being about reality. Tesla is running out of time to prove it's more than just hype. And if it can't, then the company that once defined the EV revolution may end up as just another cautionary tale. One where the biggest risk wasn't actually competition, the economy, or regulation. It was believing in its own myth for too long. Because the problem with selling a story is that sooner or later, people stop buying it. Now, if you enjoyed this video and you want to learn about the shocking truth behind wealth inequality in America, well, I covered it in this video here. Thanks for watching.